So in order to calculate the density of an object, we need to measure its mass and its volume, as density is mass divided by volume. So we want to measure the density of this stone. Now, one of the key problems is that we need the volume and we need the mass. And it's easy measuring the mass. All we need to do is to put it on digital scales. So mass is 44.1 grams. So next thing we need to do is to measure the volume. Now, of course, because it's an irregular solid, we can't just measure it. We need to use displacement of a liquid. So what we can use instead is a displacement can. We first of all fill this can up until it gets to the level where you can see it starts to wee out. Okay. Now, that then means we let that dribble out until it stops. Then what we do is we lower our mass in that we want to measure the volume of our stone. And what will happen is it will displace the water in there, and any water is collected in here, and the volume of water in here will be the volume of the stone. So that is your volume of the stone, which I make 16 millilitres or 16 centimetres cubed. So a second way of doing this, if you've forgotten how to use a displacement can, or you're not sure about that practical method, another way to do it is this method. What you do is you fill up the measuring cylinder to a certain volume, and I'm going to fill it up to 100. Now I've used quite a large measuring cylinder here because otherwise I can't get the stone in it, but you can see that I've filled that up to 100 on there. Okay, and what I then do is put the stone in like that, and you can see clearly it's displaced water, that the volume has now gone up, and the volume is about 16 millilitres, 16 centimetres cubed, which is the same as before. So there are two different ways in which we can measure the volume. One is using the displacement can, one is using the measuring cylinder. Both are equally correct in your exam. Lots of students find this much easier to explain than this one, but what you need to say is the volume of the stone is the volume afterwards minus the volume before, which would be 116 minus 100, which is 16 centimetres cubed. And of course, finally, you just need to work out the density, which is the mass of the stone divided by the volume. And that's it for irregular solids.